Hey guys, it's Martin here from Broken Hill Nerfers, and today I'm going to be bringing you a review of the Nerf ZombieStrike HammerShot. Alright, so I'll quickly go over the box, and then I'll review the blaster. Go over the blaster. Okay, so here we have the blaster. It's in an open box instead of the traditional enclosed box. Nerf has been doing this a lot more with a lot of their products recently, and yeah, so basically it's just an open box where it actually shows you the blaster. Here we have the ZombieStrike logo stuff, the HammerShot, the preteen with the blaster pointing it, hammer action blaster. I believe this is the it is the first blaster that Nerf has done that uses the hammer action to fire, and it is a revolver, much like the you can see the barrels there, much like the Maverick or Strong Arm, except that it's a hammer prime instead of a slide. Here in the box, this is what it comes with in the box. It comes with 5 ZombieStrike darts just there. You see them there. They're the same as normal Elite darts, normal blue Elite Streamline darts. They are just coloured green to suit the theme. On the back of the box, we have the mission recon. I'll hold that up to the camera. You can pause the video there if you want to read that. I'm not going to read it this time. So then on the back of the box here, we have instructions. It says, pull the hammer down. Low. That's kind of odd. So yeah, pull the hammer down. I think that's saying load the blaster with the darts in. Pull the trigger to fire and then repeat. Alright, so I'm not actually going to take that one out of the box because I actually have this one right here. Hooray! Now, the reason I have 2 of them was Target had a sale at the point I purchased this, and it was 3 for 2 or something like that. So I bought 2 ZombieStrike HammerShots because you can't get them in Broken Hill and they were on sale. The third item I bought, I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. So please don't ask me what it was because I honestly cannot remember. Okay, so going over the features of this blaster. So as I said before, it is HammerShot. It is hammer primed. So you pull the hammer down like that, pull the trigger to fire. You can see that I'll bring it up a bit closer. You can see that is the hammer here goes very slow while the air restrictors are still in. So yep, it's got a tack rail here. Bit of a weird design on the tack rail in that it has these deeper rungs here. I'm not sure. So I'm not sure if you can see that very well because of my kind of dodgy camera angles. But you can see that they're very deep gouges. They can, and I believe that is because it was intended to be used with the mission mount app or the ZombieStrike app, where you can put your phone in a holder and slide it on the blaster, but it still works with scopes and stuff. I have a N-Strike scope there just to show you that you can put normal scopes and accessories on it if you really want to. I don't personally do it. So the other features of the blaster is it has the fake tape here to make it feel like post-apocalyptic zombie kind of thing, which is the whole idea of ZombieStrike line. Here it has the ZombieStrike logo, and it's got the Nerf logo here as well, and it's got the same on the other side. It does have a tiny iron sight. I don't know if you'll be able to see that or not, but it's not. Yeah, sorry for the bad camera angle. But the sight isn't very good, and honestly, a sight on a Nerf blaster is kind of pointless. Another feature the blaster has is you can hold the, much like a Rampage's or a Raider's slam fire ability, you can pull the trigger down and go bam, bam, bam like cowboys in the movies and in the Old West and that. I've tried doing that and I got maybe 2 darts to actually fire out of it, and it really hurt my hand trying to do that, so I couldn't recommend that. So I'll go ahead and load the blaster up and show you it firing. For this firing test, I have normal blue elite darts. They are the exact same as the ZombieStrike darts, except they are blue. So yeah, so to load the blaster, you just push the darts in all the way like that, and the cylinder just rotates. There's nothing to stop the cylinder rotate, it just free rotates. It can go either direction, left or right, it doesn't matter. And I'll just quickly show you down the barrel. You can see that they have this the peg there for the elite darts, and then back up here in the plunger tube is the air restrictor. So there's the blaster loaded up, so go ahead and fire it. I'm just trying to keep it in camera, sorry. Oh, one more. Alright, so there's the blaster firing. One thing worth noting is I've had a lot of time to stuff around with this blaster and I have found it to be extremely accurate. I don't know if it was my darts or the actual blaster. I've had to fiddle around with different darts and it feels like more like the blaster, but the thing is extremely accurate. When I first got it and I opened it up, I was stuffing around with it. I could put 5 darts basically on the same target across the room at about 5 meters or so. So it is extremely accurate. Not sure the full range claims on this, so I'll find out and put it in the description. Worth noting too, mine again is a grey trigger version, which is the Australian version, which has a slight detuning. Now, mods that I've seen for this blaster. The first and obvious most one is paint schemes. I've seen some really cool, awesome paint schemes done to this, where this whole thing is just turned into a more apocalyptic zombie looking thing with like blood splatters and like it's been through hell and back. So that's those are cosmetic mods. So in here is where the actual spring sits in the handle. So when you prime it down, you're actually pushing the spring down, and the spring compresses down here. And one thing I've seen people do is when they take the blaster apart, at the top of the spring, they actually put about that much hot glue, about 20 millimeters, I want to say. But don't quote me on that because that could be wrong. But they put about that much on it, only about that much glue, which compresses the spring a bit more, which makes it shoot harder. And then obviously the other mod they do is knock out the air restrictors, and they also come in when they take the cylinder out and pull the pegs out, which allows any type of dart to be loaded, not just elite streamlines. Another mod I have seen, I'm not quite sure how you do it, is up here. You can see this thing, I don't know what you want to call it, but basically that pushes the cylinder back against the I think it's an O-ring maybe. I'm just going to roll with O-ring, I'm not quite sure. On the plunger head. No, on the plunger, sorry. And where it connects with the cylinder so that it has a better air seal. One thing I have seen people do is they take this whole piece off so that the blaster becomes this kind of squarish looking pistol. So if you can imagine it with like out that, and it's kind of squared up and it looks really good. One quick point I've just realised I forgot to point out is it has a sling mount just here on the handle, so you can equip a sling here. Another thing the blaster comes with, which I cannot show you because I do not have it on me this time, is in the packet it comes with stencils. That's the word I'm after, stencils, in which you can draw like the ZombieStrike logo. There's a outline of this, like a silhouette of it like that, minus my hand, and then there's also a zombie, and it's kind of odd Nerf would put that in packaging. I know they have instructions to draw with pencils, but honestly I don't think anyone's going to pay attention to that. The only thing I've seen people do with them is put them on to blasters and spray paint a logo onto their modded blaster. So kind of odd that Nerf would include it, but I'm glad they did because it is something cool. Now my overall thoughts on the blaster is I really love it. It's a fantastic sidearm. It's accurate. It's just I love it. Worth noting though is if you have kind of small hands, this can be a little bit hard to prime and it can start to hurt your hand because of the way it's done. And another thing worth keeping in mind is this has only got 5 shots in the front here, whereas a Maverick and a Strong Arm both have 6. So you have 1 less shot, but I don't think that matters too much personally. Another thing, this drawback to it over the Strong Arm is that the Strong Arm has slam fire and it has a good slam fire. This has a fan fire, yeah, that's what you call it, fan fire, and you can go like that, but it doesn't, it just, to me it doesn't work. I can't get it to work very well, and I just, yeah, I don't know why Nerf decided to include that on such a small thing to grasp. But that is the Nerf ZombieStrike HammerShot, and yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. Alright guys, thanks for watching.